Good afternoon.
Today is Monday, December 19th. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're here for case number 9508Q. Which, I think it is.
Now it's on.
Did you get that for your...
I would prefer if you could say it again, please.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
First, let me start by saying I'm sorry for the late notice of the move to this hearing room. We had some technical issues with the hearing room upstairs with sound. But we're here. Today is Monday, December 19th, 2022. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're here for Maryland Public Service Commission case number 9508Q, which is captioned in the matter of the continuing investigation of the electric fuel rate and purchase power cost adjustment charges of the municipal electric system of the Mayor and Council of Berlin. My name is Jennifer Grace. I'm a public utility law judge assigned to handle this matter. We can start by appearances.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Phyllis Kimmel on behalf of the Mayor and Council of Berlin.
Welcome. Good morning.
Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Miller, and I'm testifying on behalf of the town of Berlin.
Good morning, Mr. Miller.
Good morning.
Or good afternoon, Mr. Miller.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michael Sammartino on behalf of the Office of People's Counsel.
Welcome, Mr. Sammartino.
Good morning, Your Honor. Hunter Davis on behalf of Staff Counsel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis. I don't think I've met you before, so welcome to the staff. I'm not sure how long you've been there, but
Thank you.
maybe I'm just behind the times.
It started in May, so
Okay.
it's been a while.
Okay, nice to meet you. Okay, so I guess we can begin with the town of Berlin. Do you have exhibits to enter this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. Let's see. First, I would like to mark as Berlin Exhibit 1 the certificate of publication that Berlin filed on December 12th. It was mail log 300462. And do you need me to bring a copy up to you?
No, ma'am, I have a copy.
Okay.
That's so marked. Are there any objections to the admission of Berlin Exhibit 1 at this time?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
Berlin Exhibit 1 is admitted into the administrative record.
Thank you. Next, let's see.
Would you just like to go ahead and call your first witness?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, if I could call Stephen Miller on behalf of Berlin.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, you can have a seat right there.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly affirm under the penalty of perjury the statements made in this matter generate the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
State your full name.
Stephen A. Miller,
Spell your last name.
Miller.
Give me your business address.
It's 2300 Rexwood Drive, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Thank you very much. Your witness.
Your witness, Ms. Kimmel.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, can you please just summarize your educational background and professional experience?
I'm a graduate of San Jose State University with a degree in mathematics, and I've been working as a consultant for small municipalities, rural electric co-ops for the past 21 years.
And do you have before you a document that is entitled The Direct Testimony of Stephen A. Miller on behalf of the town of Berlin, Maryland?
Yes, I do.
Yes, it's dated December 12th, 2022. Did you prepare this testimony
Yes.
and the exhibit with it, Exhibit SAM-1?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like Mr. Miller's testimony, including the exhibit marked as Berlin Exhibit 2.
It is so marked.
Thank you. Do you have any corrections to your testimony, Mr.
No.
Miller? If you were asked today the same questions as you were asked in the pre-filed written testimony, and if you were requested to provide the same information contained in the exhibit SAM1, would your answers and information provided be the same as what you pre-filed?
Yes, they would be the same.
Okay. Is there any information that you would add to your pre-filed written testimony?
Yes.
What would, can you turn to your exhibit SAM1? Sorry. On exhibit SAM1, which is a one-page document, in line number 18, there is a reference to an adjustment. Can you please explain what that adjustment is?
Yes. The town of Berlin has to pay for REX compliance, and this particular amount was for a REX compliance fee. The town was unable to purchase solar REX for the amount of the cost cap that's described in the Maryland Public Utilities Code 7-705. There was an $80 cap on the solar REX, and they were unable to purchase REX for below that cost, so they paid the penalty for that. Based on 2021 kilowatt hour energy sales and the REPS requirements, the town had to purchase or generate 2,865 solar RECs. And the town does own a rooftop solar facility, but it only produced 27 RECs in 2021. The town had a shortfall of 2,838 solar RECs. And then the compliance fee is that 2,838 times the $80 solar REC fee, which was $227,000 and 40. $227,040. The compliance fee is recoverable based on Maryland Public Utilities Code 7-706B1, and if that compliance fee is the least cost measure to the ratepayers.
Okay, thank you. And what is the impact of the recovery of the $227,040 compliance fee on the customers?
Well, the town's PCA is based on a 3-month look back of the power cost, and passing that cost on to the ratepayers based on that 3 months would have resulted in a $20.56 increase in a bill to an average customer. Using the ACA, where we adjusted it on the ACA, that cost is spread over 12 months, and instead of a $20 impact, it has a $5.14 impact to an average customer.
Thank you. I have no further questions for Mr. Miller. Your Honor, I would request to move Berlin Exhibit number 2 into the record.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection.
Berlin Exhibit 2 is admitted.
Thank you. We have no further exhibits. Mr. Miller is available for cross-examination.
Mr. Sammartino?
Thank you, Your Honor. I just have a few questions for this witness. Mr. Miller, did the company acquire any solar RECs for 2020 for the year 2020?
Yes.
And did the company have to pay a compliance fee in 2020?
No, because the charges of the RECs, the cost of the RECs was below the cost cap that was established in the code. So they were able to purchase them.
And can you recall in any prior year where the companies had to pay a compliance fee?
Just, I believe, the first year of the RPS program, and I'm just recalling off of memory, I think this was like 2012. Yeah, they paid the compliance fee for the entire amount. It was only like $6,000, $2,000. I don't. It was a small amount at the time because the requirements were lower.
So the difference, between your compliance in 2021 with the RPS and in 2020, is that just solely due to the price of the RECs, or are there any other factors that contributed to the company having to pay the compliance fee this year?
It was solely due to the RECs being over the cost cap amount.
Okay, thank you. And I also have just a couple more questions about the town's purchases and sales of capacity. So if you turn to page 2 of your testimony, beginning at line 11, you state that for January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021, the town purchased 1 megawatt of 7 by 24 load from the Energy Authority. And so could you clarify whether those purchases were made on the day-ahead market or on the spot market?
Neither. They were, it was a contract. They had a contract amount for purchasing that 1 megawatt of base load.
Okay. And now, beginning at line 16 on the same page, you state that from January 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2022, the town purchased 1 megawatt of 7 by 24 base power from the PJM market at market prices. Could you clarify whether these purchases were made on the day-ahead market or the spot market?
They were on the spot market.
On the spot market. And could you explain the company's, I guess it seems like there's been a change of approach between last year and this year. So could you explain the company's turn towards the spot market this year?
Sure. The ramp up of the cost of natural gas kind of caught everybody flat-footed, and we were not able to lock in, a good price. Anytime we got a quote for a price, it was about what the average cost of power was. So we figured we'd just go with the market prices and see if the market cooled off, and it just never cooled off. So we were never able to lock anything in.
Okay, thank you. Now, on the same page, beginning at line 26, you state that half of 1% of the town's energy requirement was provided from peaking generation owned by the town, and that this generation has been run to reduce PJM capacity and transmission obligations. And then beginning at line 30, you state that AMP laid out a different strategy for the 2023 to 2024 planning year that incorporates demand response. Could you clarify how this new strategy in incorporating demand response will work to reduce the town's PJM capacity and transmission obligations?
It basically, since the estimated future capacity costs for PJM, they are estimated to be lower than the benefits received for demand response. So instead of trying to hit the PJM 5 CP this past summer, they just were enrolled in the demand response program for PJM, and by using less diesel to run the generators and then getting the credit for being in demand response, we're anticipating it'll be a better credit than paying the capacity costs or the savings of capacity costs.
And so to clarify, that going forward, the company will be using it'll be using its peaking generation, or the generator units, in addition to demand response to meet its capacity requirements?
The transmission requirements were unchanged, so the town still has to try to cut the transmission peak for DPL, but the capacity, part of the demand response program is they only have to run their generators when they're called on by PJM, and they weren't called on at all this summer. I'm assuming this is a one-time thing. Probably next summer we'll probably go back to the way that we were doing it with trying to cut the capacity peak, but it all depends on what the futures are for capacity.
Okay, thank you very much. Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
Thank you. Mr. Davis?
Yep, I just have one question. As was established already, that the a portion of the cost, the $227,040, includes a penalty. Do you generally do you foresee this penalty being something that will be that might be levied on the town in the next proceeding?
It could be. I reached out to our contact at AMP, and he's in contact with a bunch of rec brokers, and he said that the going rate right now is like $61, $62 for a solar rec, and the cap is going to be $60 for this year. So right now the prices are over the cap. So if that continues, then I mean the least cost measure for the town is to pay the penalty.
Okay. Yeah, no further questions. Thank you.
One moment. Ms. Kimmel, do you have any redirect?
I just, one real quick, Mr. Miller, just following up on the question you were just asked, do you anticipate the magnitude of the compliance fee to be the same, or do you anticipate that it would decrease in the coming years?
It will decrease. A House bill was just passed, I think about 2 years ago, and it reduced the municipalities' requirements for the RPS program, and their percentage of solar has gone down dramatically. So not only did the cap go down from $80 to $60, but their requirements went from, and I don't know this off the top of my head, but I think it was like 7% solar to 1.95% solar. So it's going to be a big savings for them based on that House bill passing.
Yeah, thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay. Mr. Miller, you've testified for the town before, correct?
Yes.
How many years have you been testifying for the town?
I think it's in my testimony. I should remember this. Past 8 purchase power hearings.
Okay. And mostly I just want to go over the new testimony that you put on by way of live rejoinder or whatever today, just because I haven't seen that before. But before I do that, I just wanted to ask, you testified that, while in cross-examination by Mr. Sammartino, that the town had incurred a penalty of this type before. Is that right? Was that why you were on the case?
No, that was, I think a prior consultant was working on that at that time.
Do you know whether the town was permitted to recover that in this way?
That I don't know. I could look that up.
So the new information today is that, and I just want to make sure I got the numbers right because I was taking notes, and you were required to buy 2,865 solar X,
Correct.
and in order to get to the $227,040 adjustment, you subtracted the 27 RECs that the rooftop produced in 2021 and then multiplied it by the $80 solar rec fee. Is that how you did that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I don't have any further questions. Ms. Kimmel, if you have any questions based off of mine, you can go ahead.
I don't think so. Thank you.
Thank you for your appearance today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you have any other witnesses for the town?
I do not, thank you.
Mr. Sammartino.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have no witnesses.
Okay. What is the Office of People's Counsel position on the recommendations, the dual recommendation of staff in the town?
OPC was a little bit concerned about the $227,040 adjustment, but based on the testimony from Mr. Miller today, we understand why that's in there, and so we're not as concerned about it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Davis.
Staff will call witness Alexander.
just have a seat in the witness box.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly affirm under the penalties of perjury the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
State your full name.
Tanika Alexander.
I'm going to need you to spell your full name. Okay?
Sure. T as in Tom, A, N like Nancy, Y-E-K-A, middle initial R, last name Alexander, A-L-E-X-A-N-D as in David, E-R.
Give me your business address, please.
6 St. Paul Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202.
Thank you very much. You're witness.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Alexander. By whom are you employed,
Maryland Public Service Commission,
and what is your position with the commission?
the Public Utility Auditor.
Do you have with you a document titled Direct Testimony of Tanika Alexander consisting of 9 pages of text and one attachment, attachment A?
Yes.
Has this document been pre-filed in this case?
Yes, it has.
Was this document prepared by you or under your supervision?
Yes, it was.
Do you have any additions, deletions, or changes you would like to make to this document at this time?
No.
If you were asked the same questions today, would your answers be the same as stated in this document?
Yes, it would.
Do you adopt this document as your direct testimony in this case?
Yes.
Your Honor, I ask that direct testimony of Tanika Alexander consisting of 9 pages of text and one attachment A be marked for identification as Staff Exhibit 1.
Staff Exhibit 1 is so marked.
At this time, I would like to move Staff Exhibit 1 into evidence subject to cross-examination.
Any objection?
No.
No objection, Your Honor.
Staff Exhibit 1 is admitted into the administrative record.
Thank you. The witness is available for cross.
Ms. Kimmel, go ahead.
We have no questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sammartino?
We have no questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Alexander, you testified at the end of your testimony as to what the impact would be on residents. Is that correct? I'm looking at page 9, lines 7 through 9. An average residential customer using 1,042 kilowatt hours per month will incur an increase of approximately $9.16.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Where did you receive the average residential customer kilowatt hour?
I received that from Mr. Miller's testimony, and I've also, I guess, evaluated previous cases, but definitely in a previous, in Mr. Miller's testimony.
The $227,040 RP. Have you reviewed past cases? I know you were not the staff witness last year.
No, I wasn't, but I did review previous cases.
The $227,040 RPS fee is the only new thing this year. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Seems like kind of a substantial increase, and that's the only new thing. Can you? But there's also a lot going on in the energy market. So can you tell me what is the most contributing factor to the increase that customers will see this year?
The most contributing factor to that increase was the fact that the town had to pay a compliance fee rather than go along with the required purchase of RECs.
Is it just that charge, or are there other factors that are contributing to the increase this year?
I would definitely say gas, the increase of energy for all utilities have been the major rise and increase of costs.
Okay, I don't have any further questions. Do any council have any questions based off of my questions? Okay,
Okay.
thank you
You're
for your
welcome.
testimony this morning. Anything else from staff?
No, no other witnesses, Your Honor.
All right. All right, thank you, everyone. I don't think that there's anything else that we need to do this morning. An order will be coming very soon. Thank you for coming in person. I know this is the first time we've done it in a few years, but commission's going back to that, so I appreciate your travel time. And have a nice day. Is there anything else anyone has this morning? Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We can go off the record.